Hey guys, I wanted to do this video last week, but due to all the trailers coming out, the TMNT trailer, the X-Men trailer, Civil War trailer, Batman v, it was just a crazy week for fucking trailers. But I want to talk about this thing that I found out. And I don't know how many of you guys watch Collider Movie Talk, but I watch Collider every single day. And on one of the episodes last week, I can't remember if it was Movie Talk or maybe Jedi Council, one of their other shows on Collider, Christian Harloff, the guy from Schmoes Know, who's also part of the cast on Collider, talked about these prequels, these Star Wars prequels, anti-cheese edits that are on YouTube. And he talked about it for a little bit, and then I hurry up and searched it right after that, and I seen that some guy took the prequels and re-edited them. Now that's not a big deal because since the prequels have come out, they've been fan edited a lot. But this guy really takes it a step above the other fan edits. And today I kind of want to talk about. I was going to review all of them individually, but seeing how we only have 4 days from now, The Force Awakens, I want to try to knock out as many videos Star Wars related as possible leading up to that. And then if I would do all three movies individually, that's 3 videos right there. So I figured I'll just do the prequel trilogy and talk about these anti-cheese edits because they are fantastic. So let me give you an idea of what these anti-cheese edits are. Basically, this guy goes in, he does his own cut of each movie, and then he adds certain things. And for Phantom Menace, for example, they take Jar Jar Binks' voice completely out of the movie, as well as the Trade Federation alien. They take their voices completely out, and he adds random alien voices, right? And then he adds his own subtitles for what they are actually saying. So you don't have Jar Jar going, Misa just here because Misa fucking stupid. He doesn't have like Jar Jar saying that. He has his voice out and he has, an alien talk, right? And the alien voices are really, really good. And then he has subtitles saying Jar Jar's like, you saved my life. We are a warrior race. We are indebted to your service or something of that nature. I don't know his exact words. And then the Trade Federation, when they're talking to Queen Amidala, it's really, really intense. The dialogue between Amidala and Viceroy Gunray is really intense because they get rid of that gibberish crap that George Lucas added in, and he adds this dialogue that's believable and furthers the plot. And even with Queen Amidala in the first movie, they take away this serious pitch that Amidala spoke and use Natalie Portman's natural voice for that, and it makes her seem younger, so it's more believable of how Anakin at his young age and Amidala relate because they're both about the same age. But you don't get that in the original Phantom Menace because she sounds so much older. So using Natalie Portman's real voice just really kind of matches it up. It flows better. It's great. One thing I like is they cut out a lot of the damn nonsense. For instance, when they first meet Jar Jar Binks, instead Jar Jar bringing her asses to Gungan City, he's like, I know a secret entrance into Naboo, the castle. And then Qui-Gon's like, can you take us there? And he's like, yeah. And he takes it, you complete the whole underwater boss nass thing. You don't see none of that nonsense. And then the pod race, which I find the pod race dreadful in any version, is actually somewhat watchable in this version because the annoying aliens that go nah 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 is cut completely out. The play-by-play commentary is completely cut out, and what I like about it is you focus on the intensity of the scene, and you don't have these stupid aliens talking nonsense. And then we get to the climax of the movie, which I think is just a million times better. We don't focus so much on Jar Jar. We focus on the Gungans fighting, but we don't focus on Jar Jar. He doesn't make poop jokes, stupid references. He doesn't clumsily beat droids or nothing. They cut that completely out. And when Anakin goes into the Trade Federation ship, he doesn't go, what am I doing? What do I got to do? No, they cut all that bullshit out, and he just destroys that goddamn thing and gets out of there. And I like just the way the movie flows. It's just fantastic. The only downfall I have of it is it's the only version on YouTube that I can't find an HD version of. Um, both Attack Clones and Revenge of the Sith, I found 720p versions, and I downloaded all those. I have all three of those because whoever I ever introduced to Star Wars who's not a fan of Star Wars, I'm gonna have them watch the anti-cheese edit. To me, those are the real versions. Those are what the movie should have been. Phantom Menace, like, I was always a person who defended the prequels somewhat. I knew there was problems with it, but I'll defend the overall story. The anti-cheese edit proves to people that there is great story in the prequels. And if you watch the anti-cheese edit of Phantom Menace, you'll be happy. It's great. Boss Nass plays a very small role, but you barely see him in it. Same thing with Jar Jar. He's there, but he plays a very, very small role. And it's just a great, great version of the movie, a great cut of the movie. And then Attack of the Clones, some more edits going on in this one. Again, the aliens have all been revoiced with subtitles. Jar Jar plays an even less role, but the key thing in this one is they cut out all of Hayden Christensen's whining. Okay, he's more of a quiet guy, stays to himself. He doesn't sit there and stare at Padme. They cut the complete scene in Naboo out where him and her are in the chamber room, and they're like, we can't fall in love because we'll be forced to live a lie. They cut that out. They cut out him rolling in grass. When his mother dies, it shows him bringing her corpse back, and then they showed the scene where he's in front of her grave. They cut out the crap in the mechanics room where he's like, I hate them, and I murdered them like animals. Blah, blah. They cut that all out, and the movie flows so much better. And the thing that I was skeptical about was at the end during the droid factory. I'm like, how are they gonna cut this thing? And it's so good how they do it. Like C-3PO and R2-D2 are like nowhere in the droid factory, so you don't got all that nonsense. And then when Anakin and Padme are captured, there's a scene, and I personally like this scene. I quote it all the time to my wife. When she's like, I love you, I'm like, I thought we promised ourselves we wouldn't fall in love, that we'd be forced to live a lie, and that it would destroy our lives. I think our lives are about to be destroyed anyway. I just want you to know, but before we die, I truly, deeply love you. Man, I was going there for a while and I fucked up. They cut that all out. Instead of that, you get Anakin going, it's gonna be okay. And then Natalie Portman going, I'm not afraid to die. And instead of going all blah, 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 blah that I just quoted, he's like, what do you mean? And then she's like, I love you. And then the kids, I'm like, man, that was more powerful. I'm like, man, that flows so much fucking better. And it just the way the movie flows with these anti-cheese edits is like, man, it's like watching three totally different movies. I've seen all the prequel movies, right? 1 billion times. Watching these anti-cheese edits, it's like watching it for the first time ever. It's so fucking good. And then we get to the Revenge of the Sith, and again, they cut out a lot of the damn bullshit nonsense between him and Amidala, especially that scene where after he has a bad dream, he's like, oh, I'm so in love with you. That's because I'm so in love with you. And she doesn't even look like Natalie Portman. It looks like a fucking stunt person playing her or something. Like really fucking ugly. She looks fugly there. I don't even think that's Natalie Portman. I think it's like a stand-in for that scene. But they cut that completely out. And then two of the things that people hated the most, they cut completely out of the movie, which I loved, was Darth Vader going, no! Like, they cut that completely out. Instead, it's so well done the way it's cut, the way they have it is. And the best part, I think, what really sells Revenge of the Sith, the ending, is Padme doesn't die because she loses the will to live. Which I always thought that was fucking BS in the movie. Like, Anakin had visions of her dying in childbirth. In this movie, she fucking dies from childbirth. You know, the droid doesn't go like, medically she's healthy, but for some unknown reason, she's dying. She's losing the will to live. You know, they cut all that out. The droid goes up and is like, she's dying. If we act quickly, we can save the twins. And they're like, twins? You know, and then at the end, she's like, I know they're still good in him. And she dies. She dies in childbirth. They make it look like she died in childbirth. Not because she lost the fucking will to live. It's so fucking asinine and ridiculous. The way this movie or these three films are cut are so fucking good. You can watch episodes 1, 2, and 3 anti-cheese edits, and it goes right into 4, 5, and 6 without missing a beat. You don't get the fucking cheesiness, the garbage, nothing. You know, it's just a fantastic cut of each film, and I'm definitely recommend you search it up on YouTube, type in Star Wars anti-cheese edit. You have Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. I watched all three of them back to back, and they are just amazing, amazing cuts of the film. I love them. I downloaded them for myself. I'm going to burn them the DVD, and those are going to be the versions that I show friends who never seen Star Wars, or if I ever have a kid, that will be the version I show my children, because to me, that's the way the movie should have been cut. I think George Lucas kind of just got carried away with some things, and this is what the movie should have been. It should have been cut that way. Fantastic edits. I give you a round of applause of the guy who came up with these edits and spent the time and hard work making these things, because they are fantastic. They are true to Star Wars fans. No mention of midichlorians or any bullshit like that. It's really, really well done, and they get the highest of praise from me. If you haven't seen the anti-cheese edits, check them out. Until next time, guys, I'm Robert Storm, and that's my opinion.